In 1917, when Einstein published his theory of general relativity, he used those equations to prove that the universe was dynamic, and which is actually, at this point, what is the view of quantum physicist. But then he changed his view, and he used some equations uh, of, a, of another scientist. His name was Vesto Slipher of Laurel Observatory, and he used his equations, and then he changed his views, and he said that the universe was not dynamic, it was static. It means the universe was not expanding. But as the data was accumulated, and as you all know that uh, Einstein at that time was a landmark in quantum physics. If you challenge anything said by Einstein, you better be on your grounds. Otherwise, it is really uh, a difficult position for you being a scientist. But then, when data was accumulated and research was done more rapidly about this, uh, Einstein admitted his mistake, and then he realized, as the research was continued, it was proven that universe was not static, which Einstein believed after changing his views, and it was proved that that universe is not static. Actually, it is active. And then he admitted by writing a letter to his fellow Nobel laureate. His name was Max Born, and Einstein wrote a letter admitting his mistake, that he had committed the blunder of his life. I'm just quoting his words. He said, "It was the biggest blunder of my life." These are the words of Einstein, Sir Albert Einstein. And then when he realized finally that the universe is actually not static, it is dynamic, it is actually expanding. Uh, then he came to realize that, then what about yesterday? What about a year ago? What about a century ago? And what about a millennium ago? That means if in this present time universe is expanding, and it will be expanded after 1 month or 10 years or so on, that means before a time ago, a millennium ago, or centuries ago, there was a time when universe was starting to grow. That means if you come back, if you go back further, then you will realize there has to be a time when the universe was started. And actually, the 31 verses of the first book of the first chapter of Genesis, chapter 1, which has 31 verses in it, they proved, and they have said loud enough from the outset, from the word go, that universe had a beginning. And then Einstein realized what the blunder he has committed. So when it comes to the conflict between science uh, and the Bible, actually it's not uh, a conflict. It is rather your point of view, how you look at things. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about 6 days of Genesis, and there's a lot of talk about fossils and speed of light. Uh, by God's grace, I've done a lot of work on this based on some well-known quantum physicists in this field, and I'll try to make videos regarding this, how to resolve this conflict. Actually, it's a no conflict situation, but it is just how you interpret the data, as I've just recently shared. So universe is not static, it is actually dynamic, it is expanding. That means if you go back, there has to be a time when actually it was started. So space, time, and energy and matter, it all had a beginning, exactly said by Genesis 1. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Thank you. Shalom.